Fast forward, any come out on so AG Politics Avenue. Podcast source are turning because Mickey headlines. Najamre na iribi exomo ni ni hombrak simu yanko high listening. Yadam enya sam potokra. Yana subscribe edit amame. Na yako yin sima private legal practitioner lawyer Martin Pigbu na meno kasei. CRC reporter ebaye say section room say a buying appointees umbetimi declare omo asset no papa edina no atum bi ehye se ubia declare no asset to avoid corruption na we ni free honso wa chana dwen outline strategies ahodoa aban no ebefa so a fight corruption awunia ho be hia se ebowom abra wajemre key point yumadi so AGH Politics Avenue yanko yinsim.
At least for now, what we do know and what has been made public, it doesn't address it as has been put in there. That's a major issue for you in there, Labatibebo?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a key issue for me. So as I christened it this morning, President Mahama has to consider that law the legacy of legacies. That must be it. That must be it. That is to say, the Code of Conduct for Public Officers must have a provision that allows for the publication of the assets once declared. So the mantra will be publish or perish. Publish or perish. Look at it. As I brandished earlier on, Rawlings declared his assets, PVOB, all of them. What happened? You hear arguments, even the Fiajo report. They went and told the commissioner, that if they publish their assets, armed robbers will attack. Yes. And they said the same thing in Parliament in the 90s. You can Google it. CDD did a report on this same law. And that's why the parliamentarians said in Parliament that they are ready that armed robbers will attack them. So when JJ, yes, exactly. When JJ, PVF, Obey, etc., all of them.
For the house.
Can you imagine? Please, I think we should stop joking about this. You see, I like how Mr. Okanse has, read those portions. And we should allow TV3. TV3 has been very, very consistent about this. We did a symposium on it 2 years ago. And then last year, was it in November, we did another symposium on it, the lifestyle audit and, of course, asset declaration law. So at least in recent times, see that TV3 is taking a center stage on this matter. And I have consistently said that that would be the game changer to the fight against corruption. It will be the game changer. So Professor Bafo-Agyemang sits here. If he declares his assets and I live with him, let's say in Nkwanta, and I find that, Professor Bafo-Agyemang, you have 11 houses. You've come to declare 6. The remaining 4, why are they not on your declaration form? I would quickly then send an email to the Auditor General that this, quietly. Then Professor Bafo-Agyemang will be called in. But if we don't do that, so that's to say, sunshine is the best disinfectant. If we don't do that, and we just say that the Auditor General should take and go and do verification. What verification? How many officers of the Auditor General would you have? So just look at it this way. We need 34 million watchmen as against 1 or 2 officers of the Auditor General as watchmen. No, we need the whole nation. Like the way in Ghana we say that there are 34 million Ghanaian coaches. So in the same way, we need 34 million watchmen because we need to crack this fight against corruption. And this is one of the easiest. Look, you go into our history. Let's go to the Jiage Commission. Eduji referred to Lawyer Pierre's this conviction a few weeks ago when Lawyer Pierre, by the way, by way of reminder, was a public prosecutor, right? Now, do you know how Lawyer Pierre was caught? When the Jiage Commission was set up, people went in the night, or let's say somebody put the evidence, his bank accounts in Barclays Bank, London, etc. They put it in an envelope, and when they put it in front of the Jiage Commission, their office, surreptitiously, that's what Ghanaians like most. Yes, that provide an opportunity. When he gets the opportunity, he will come and give the evidence quietly, anonymously. So when you put the assets online so that people can check, can you imagine? They will get the information and they will give Auditor General information anonymously. then these people can be taken on. But if you hide the declarations, then you've done nothing. That's why I say IMF, of course, we are telling the IMF to, we are not happy with what they did. We told them from the beginning that they should have made this particular law a condition precedent. You know, the IMF today have a lot of politics. You know, they are also in business. So IMF makes money when we go to them.
No,
so it's like
a loan.
Yes, and
what
it's business for them.
Bailout is a loan.
It's a loan, and they make money.
Yeah.
And when they
charge interest on everything.
Thank you very much. And you remember
not
in the
exponential
80s,
rates, yes.
in the 80s, Prime Minister Manley of Jamaica, and then also they came together and said, look, let's form a new set of institutions, a new bank to help developing countries. Then Prime Minister of UK, Margaret Thatcher, and then Reagan came together and torpedoed it. They said, no. Let IMF and these other Bretton Woods institutions continue. And you see, they've been on our necks. We are never getting out. You see, so the fact that they couldn't make this asset declaration law a condition precedent, I saw through their politics. You know, we mentioned it here. Look, IMF, you have to stand up. You have to stand up. This politics, it won't get you anywhere, because the more you do this, then the more we see that you are really not here for our interests. You're here for your interest.
Mr.
You should have done this a long time ago.
I see. Mr. Malovo, on this one, this particular aspect of the IMF report, tying it into what the Constitutional Review Committee also captured in the point 42 of the IMF report. They say, and I read, the draft Conduct of Public Officers Bill, and earlier I read the 58, the 42 says the draft Conduct of Public Officers Bill includes provisions requiring disclosure of assets owned by high-level officials directly and beneficially, both in Ghana and abroad, and provides improved sanctions regime for non-compliance. However, the Cabinet's decision to remove the critical requirement for guaranteeing public access to the asset declaration information of high-level officials, citing constitutional restrictions, seriously undermines the effectiveness of the said measure. The Cabinet deferred to the Constitutional Review Committee to guide government's position on this matter of whether or not to publish the assets declared by high-level public officials. Mr. Domelo.
Thank you very much. And I cannot agree more with my colleague, Martin Pebu. I always love when it comes to public sector reform. I many times equate it to someone standing in a basket or a bucket and we asking him or her to lift him or herself up. It is his weight which is keeping the bucket down in the first place. So how does he do that? In other words, the very people who we want to reform in the public sector are the problem. That's why public sector reforms keep going on forever. They are not ready to do it. It may interest you to know. Now, when I assumed office as Auditor General in 2016, this Conduct of Public Office Holders Bill was already there. The draft was there. But it was forwarded to my office by the then Attorney General, Honorable Gloria Akuffo. And we provided inputs with the hope and prayer that it was going to be passed into law. It was there till Nana Addo Akufo assured us, I think somewhere in 2024, that he was going to give us one which met international standard. Which
it says a world class. Yeah.
World class, which means that he was giving us nothing. So he left without giving us anything.
Is that how you understood it?
Yes, with the benefit of hindsight, that is what he meant. He meant, I won't give you anything. That is the international world class that he thought he was giving us, or he said he was giving us. Then comes in the Mahama administration. We have gone a full year. The bill is there. If there is any changes or whatever, addition or subtraction that can be made, it should have been made and passed long time ago. I keep making this argument. You are going to hold a public office. If you are not ready to be transparent, nobody is putting a gun at you to your head that take that position. You can't say that I want to play the game, but I will not obey the rules of the game. We have seen corruption disturbing our country unduly. We know also that white-collar crime, fortunately you have so many lawyers on the panel. White-collar crime is the most expensive or the most difficult crime to fight. But unfortunately, again, in Ghana, the legal framework put it almost at the same pedestal with other crimes. Other crimes which you can easily gather evidence to prove beyond reasonable doubt that somebody has committed. White-collar crime, unlike those ones, are committed by intellectuals. Not anybody at all can commit those white-collar crimes and get away with them. But those who kill, those who steal, etc., forgive me, I don't think they are very intelligent people. They can easily be caught, and the evidence can easily be put together. So that is why we are saying that, okay, like Martin Bebo said, we put in sunshine. If you wanted to disinfect the system, let us know, Daniel, what you have when you are going to the office. And then when you are leaving the office too, let us have it. And people are assuming that the Auditor General will be able to know what there's so many politicians, how many political appointees are we talking about? Remember, it covers the president, the vice president, all the ministers, members of parliament, all the judiciary, chief directors, and a whole lot of people. My count when I was in office was about 50 to 70,000 people. How will you know what they own and what they don't own? So if they come to the Auditor General and even, assuming we improve the law, said that the Auditor General can verify, he can only verify what the people show to him. For us, there may be several other assets. So if we want to these assets and liabilities declaration to be done comprehensively, then I think that we have put the standard in the COBOL, that is the Conduct of the Office, the Public Office Holders Bill. We must pass that law and also address other related issues. For instance, I don't know whether you are going to come there. Like I just said, that the threshold for fighting white-collar crime should be different from other type of crimes. We must introduce as a matter of urgency the need for reverse burden. If it can be established that, Daniel, you own a house which costs maybe 5 million Ghana cedis, but your salary per month is only 10,000. If we accumulate it over a year, that is 120,000. You have been in office for 4 years, so you've made 480,000. How did you come up with such a building within the 4 years? Then the onus should shift to me, Daniel, to prove beyond reasonable doubt that I have other means. Maybe it's a full lotto forecaster and I won lotto, or my parent or relative died and inherited some fortune or etc. If we don't pass this law on reverse the burden, and if we don't pass a law to shorten the time it takes to track financial crimes, what happened last year will happen every time. In fact, it didn't happen the first time last year anyway. Whenever they commit financial crimes or corruption or in corruption-related cases, they keep adjourning the case. In fact, they, the lawyers on the panel, forgive me, you lawyers, when you adjourn the case, I'm sure you make more money. So you are happy, you keep adjourning the case till there is a change in government, then you hear nolly prosecutor. We are no more interested. So I think we may have to agree. If you want to play the game, you obey the rules of the game. You are going to manage resources of the country. And since the country is not able to ensure that you can't touch these resources because of the position of power we are giving you, tell us what you have at the beginning and tell us what you are going to have at the end. And we need the public to help. The Auditor General is not God. The Auditor General cannot look into your face or look on your record and say that, yes, you have 5 houses, but I know there are 2 more in your village. You will not know. So we need the public to be involved. Thank you.
I see, and that means that the collaboration of the public, the Auditor General also has some powers, is it not? So why is the Auditor General not, for instance, surcharging, as you did?
I thought you should have called the Auditor General to ask him this. But I saw some, forgive me again, I'm not in the country, I've been away for some time now. But I've been following social media. I saw that he's preparing to surcharge some national...
He's preparing to do so.
Service, something. And so maybe the surcharge certificates are coming back. But I remember in one of my interviews, I made a very passionate appeal to him that I'm not feeling the surcharge because I think that tool is a very powerful tool. It is in fact, I've been teasing my colleagues who are judges that even the Auditor General is more powerful than them. Anyway, when it comes to court, yes, you are very powerful. But before we come to court, the Auditor General is very powerful because you as a judge, you cannot go around the society looking for wrongdoers, prosecute them and convict them. But the Auditor General, he goes out looking for infractions or wrongdoing in financial management. When he identifies one and is not happy with you, the Constitution mandates him to convict you by disallowing and surcharging. And that too is not only for recovery, it is also there to bring about deterrence. When people know that, yes, you can't get away with it, especially when we are holding the higher level of government accountable. Because I keep arguing that in public financial management, it storms at the top and drizzles at the bottom. So you don't go and waste your time on the head teacher who cannot account for 2,000 and bring him to public accounts committee. He and his team coming and going back to their village, they spend about 10,000. I don't think that is what is needed. What you need to do is to make sure that the education minister is running for his life. If they see the education minister running for his life, who is a headmaster, he will also comply. If they see the minister of health under the scrutiny, who is the head of a tertiary hospital or maybe a regional hospital. So I pray and hope that my brother Johnson Asiedu, as he has indicated, is going to disallow and surcharge, takes it a bit more seriously and ensure that we hold people accountable. Otherwise, the fight against corruption will suffer a serious damage.
Thank you. We're going to go for this quick break. But Prof, you wanted to make a very quick input. Yes.
It's a very important issue when you're talking anti-corruption. And I think if the Crusaders succeed, if the nation succeeds in getting this done, I think it will be a major breakthrough for the fight. So I wholeheartedly support that. But in our country, there are some people have certain cultural fears to even let a friend know that they build a house. I'm coming. And that's what Yao said, that if you're afraid of that, then don't get into public office. I think that should be the rule, because serving with the UN in Liberia, look, as poor as that country was under President Salif Johnson, the Anti-Corruption Commission, as they call it, was able to not simply publish, but with pictures when you're appointed, they go around and take pictures of your assets. I have copies in my office. They showed pictures. Of course, the senior official didn't like it, but that's what they did. You see, I don't know if they still sustain that in the country. Because the fact is, if you have built, you have gained your property legitimately, why should you fear that you have 10 houses?
You should be happy that it has been published.
You should be happy. You may inspire people, even by share work that you've done. So I think we need to have a way to break through this. Because if you succeed, I can tell you, corruption could drop 80%. Because they steal and invest it in landed assets or in the banks. And now, hopefully, new bank laws can also help to stem those who steal and go to Switzerland or somewhere and put in the money. So this is a very important point. I just want to feel that we should push to get that law passed.
Thank you.
So that if my good friend in Parliament, you're afraid to let us know you have 10 houses, then you will be,
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for this. And also live here on Key Point, also on TV3. We're live on 3FM 92.7 and on TV3 Ghana on Facebook and on DSTV channel. You have indicated that always happen. That if for you, even this proposal of a 4-year increase to 5 years was an indirect third term being introduced or being proposed for that matter. Why is that?
Yes, so you see, right now the Constitution is clear, right? We do 4 years, maximum 2 terms for a president. So for the committee to suggest that we should increase the 4-year term to 5 years, if you add the 1 year increment in each case, you get 2. So that's an indirect third term. It's giving you 2.5 terms. That's why I say it's an indirect third term. And so that's how come, you know, a lot of Gen Zs on the net, etc., have come out strongly that they will not countenance that. Like we keep saying popularly, can you imagine Akuffo in government for 10 years? Would have been dead by now. And don't think that Akuffo is only one of his kind. Look at Bawumia lacing his boot to become president. Can you imagine Bawumia president of Ghana for 10 years? Yes, we'll be dead. Exactly. So please. Exactly. We will not make any mistake. Bawumia, president of Ghana for 10 years, this country will be Scotch F policy. Everybody will be dead. So please, let's not play with this. The recent governance of Akuffo is a sharp reminder that don't do anything to this 4-year term. Don't do anything. You always find wolves who will come in sheep clothing, all right, or in a sheep's wool. Wolves will always come to governors, okay, in sheep's clothing. Then once they get in there, they will show their real character. Always remember.
We ain't some who team course or channel so my so Jim Rew had a sense of body in the Addo. Unia, essential.